Hello, everybody, and welcome to Whisper to Scream, February 2021 edition. My name is Bernard, and I am your host. Check us out here and on Facebook at Coon Tunes Productions, then click on the current Whisper to Scream. You can also find us on Instagram at Coon Tunes, the number 2. We got a lot to talk about, so let's begin with Black History Month. We have a few stories many people may not be aware of. We weren't aware of them. Have you heard of the Deacons of Defense? The Deacons of Defense were assembled in a small town called Jonesboro, Louisiana. In 1964, Negroes, the name given to black folks by white people, were easy targets for harassment, including murder, by terrorist groups like the Ku Klux Klan, who could commit homicide without the fear of reprisal or arrest from the law. In fact, some of the local police would be involved in these homicides. Their protection from prosecution extended all the way up to state legislators. Anyway, Ernest Chilly Willie Thomas, a local civil rights activist in Jonesboro, was being threatened by a visit from the Klan. In preparation, he secured his children at a neighbor's house. He and Frederick Douglass Kilpatrick gathered several men from the neighborhood, all Christian members of local churches. They took up arms and defended their community. The Second Amendment of the Constitution gave them legal rights to do so. That night, the Klan decided to back down when they realized they could lose their own lives and the lives of their families. After that confrontation, the Deacons decided to become a permanent mainstay. Their mission was to protect civil rights, property rights, and personal rights guaranteed by the United States Constitution and defend these rights by honorable and legal means. Now, the Deacons of Defense organized groups and conducted nighttime patrols in their neighborhoods. They communicated by citizen band radios and walkie-talkies. For you millennials, today that would mean cell phones to keep each other up on what was happening on your streets. Now, sometimes they actually got into skirmishes with the Klan. There was one incident documented where a Klansman lost his life and another one was hospitalized. In another situation, students at the local high school were boycotting because black students were being denied enrollment into auto mechanics class. The local police, in collaboration with the Ku Klux Klan, surrounded the students and threatened violence and the use of fire hoses. The armed Deacons of Defense came to their rescue and the situation was diffused. And shortly afterwards, the mayor declared segregation had to be dismantled under the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Now, the Deacons received national recognition when they opened another chapter in Bogalusa, Louisiana. Their job was to protect a civil rights organization called CORE, that stands for the Congress of Racial Equality, led by a nationally known activist named James Farmer. They not only protected members of CORE, but also civil rights groups, black and white, who came to peacefully protest the inhumane treatment of blacks and other people of color, and even poor whites. Now, the story of the Deacons of Defense was chronicled in a movie starring James Earl Jones. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true story. It did not take place shortly after the Civil War. It happened in 1964. Now, just a few years later, another group of citizens in Central California, led by a young man from Louisiana named Huey P. Newton, legally took up arms to protect their neighborhoods from the same kind of indignation. Unfortunately, these young people were slain and labeled a terrorist group. Now, because of their bravery, we feel the Deacons of Defense should receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award for pursuing the ideal of the American dream of justice for all. These were ordinary men who performed extraordinary deeds. No matter how hard some try and keep us down, still, we rise.
And that's the truth.
Something else you may not have known. This is a picture of Azie Taylor Morton. She was the first and only black treasurer of the United States of America. She became the treasurer under President Jimmy Carter from September 1977 to January 1981. Before that, she served under President John F. Kennedy's administration in various roles, including being on his Committee of Equal Employment Opportunity. All legal currency of the United States must bear the signature of the treasurer before it can be distributed throughout America and the world. When you hold or see U.S. currency printed from 1977 to 1981, you will see Ozzie Taylor Morton. As always, be blessed and stay woke.